since we're running so late today, hang on. I hope everybody can hear me.
Hey, no coughing, please.
All right. So since everybody, we were so late getting started because we were having technical difficulties, I'm not going to go through the chamber mission or anything. I'm just going to say that my name is Morel Linlow. I am the chair of the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce Real Estate Council. I don't even know if Mario's on here. He is. Mario, say hello. Are you here? I don't see him, but let's see everybody. All right, there we go. Now I can actually see everybody. So hi. All right, so today we have Eric here. He's going to be talking to us about cryptocurrency and blockchain. And it's super interesting. I've already seen a lot of the slides. So I'm so glad that you were all able to jump on. I think you'll really find a lot of great information here. My name is Morel Linlow. I'm the chair, I said, of the Real Estate Council. I'm also the team leader for Keller Williams Miami Beach, just 3 blocks away from here at the chamber. And I'm so happy to have all you guys. Be sure to put in the chat your name of your company and who you're with. And we're just going to get started right now since I said we're running so late. So I'm going to switch places with Eric. He's coming over. All right.
Good morning, everyone. I'll take questions at the end of the presentation. We may run over the presentation time, but I guarantee you the information that I'm going to share with you is going to be invaluable. To start, I've traveled the world, been around the world and back. I went to over 65 blockchain conferences over the last 2.5 years, and I'm going to try to condense everything that I learned over the last 7 years in the space in an hour-long presentation for you. Just give me one moment here. I'm going to share my screen.
Real quick, will you be sending us a copy of your presentation?
No problem. Yes.
Thank you.
By the way, I can't really hear anyone, but yeah, the answer is yes.
Okay.
Again, I'll take questions at the end, so you can put them in the chat. I don't want to be distracted during the presentation. What I want to start off and say is that not to sound corny, but I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a financial planner, not a legal advisor, or an accountant. I'm just a schlubby realtor like everyone else, who happens to have a very robust knowledge of the cryptocurrency blockchain space. So here is financial advice. There is one slide that gets political or talks about politics. It's probably not my views. Okay, it's just in context of what we're talking about here. Name is Eric Mendelson, 10-year real estate agent. I'm also an award-winning music technologist, and I'm also a music executive and a blockchain entrepreneur. To start off with, I'm going to go through what blockchain is, what cryptocurrency is, the talk between Bitcoin and gold, and I'm going to really get it granularly and talk about real estate and how to conduct transactions in the space. So some of you may know this information, some of you may know a little bit. So I'm going to start it off as if nobody knows anything and kind of build it up from there for the grand finale. So what is blockchain? Can't get to the next slide though. That's a problem. That's an issue. Computer's frozen, everyone. I don't even know if anyone hears me. Yeah, but I can't even. Oh, I can't even escape.
Yeah,
I don't even have a cursor here.
We do hear you though.
Okay, that's good. Oh, what should I say then? Guarantee you this is a great presentation if it works. Yeah. What's that? Well, yes, I can't even check it because my cursor, I don't even know what's going on. But yes, I did send you a transfer file for the PowerPoint. Even my clicker here isn't working. It's not working. By the way, this is perhaps one of the hottest topics in real estate. So, what's that? It's not even my what's it called? Cursor isn't even working. Oh. This is weird. This is really weird. Not really. I don't even.
You
someone
just-
else had control of
Somebody
this.
just changed something on your slide.
Yeah, I know. Someone changed something, and it wasn't me. Everyone.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
Oh, okay, so is it sharing? Is it?
Yeah, I think people can see it, but I'm not able to
They
even.
can see it, Danny, because we're looking at it.
Well, I'll talk about this slide, and then we'll see if we can get to the next slide. So everyone, blockchain is simply computer code. It's really not that complex. So whenever people talk about what's a blockchain, it's complete computer code. Developers use this computer code to build applications on top of it. There are multiple blockchains, each with its own set of characteristics. It's software, right? Every type of software that you use, there's something beneficial about the software. Excel is different than Microsoft Word, obviously. Bitcoin blockchain is different than the Ethereum blockchain. Blockchain is decentralized. There's no centralized server where this computer software is stored. It's a ledger of transactions, which could be both public, private, or a hybrid. So when you think about what could be public, property records can be public. What you think about what could be put on a private blockchain, your health records, okay, or hybrid. Blockchain is not controlled by any one government. And when you talk about decentralization, you're actually talking about there's no central banking control. You custody your own cryptocurrency, which we'll get into. You custody your own money. There's no banks that custody cryptocurrency. The properties of distributed ledger technology. Distributed ledger technology is another term for blockchain. It's programmable. When you hear the term it's programmable, it means it could be programmed via computer code. You can program the money. It's distributed. We'll get into what that means. It's immutable, meaning any validated records are reversible and cannot be changed. It's time-stamped. There is a record of the transaction. It is unanimous. It's anonymous, meaning the transactions on the blockchain are public. Everyone can see the transactions on the blockchain, but all they see is a set of numbers handling and executing transactions between another set of numbers. They do not know the two parties' names or the individuals that are transacting on the blockchain. It's secure. And like I mentioned, it's programmable, which is the most important piece of this whole blockchain concept. I cannot get to the next slide. Somehow made it to this slide though. Does everyone see this? I don't know if they
No,
do.
Eric, we're not seeing.
You don't see this. Okay.
You're black.
I kind of figured out how to. It's going to be a little crazy. You guys see this now?
Can you hit accept?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
You can? Okay, great. I think we'll just do it this way then.
Okay.
So how do the transactions happen on the blockchain? Well, number one, I want to send money to somebody, to B, right? A to B. The transaction is represented as a block. The block is broadcasted to every party in the network. When they say every party in the network, what they're talking about is computer miners, and we'll get into that in a second. The network approves the transaction. It's not one individual that approves the transaction. It could be potentially thousands of computers are saying that A and B want to transact, and these computers validate that transaction. Once that transaction is validated, the block is then stored on the blockchain, hence blockchain. The transaction is now complete once all the computers verify that the transaction is supposed to happen. So what are the use cases for blockchain technology? Well, here's just 50 of real world use cases that are happening right now.
Wow.
and this is actually outdated. There's literally thousands of use cases that are happening right now. I'll get into, I don't know, let me just pick healthcare. Well, when you think about healthcare, fortunately, I'm quite frankly a healthy guy. Unfortunately, both of my parents passed away. And when my parents passed away, every time they would go to the hospital or the doctor's office, it was an archaic system of them having to get permission to access their health records. Well, what if all of these health records were stored on a private blockchain where my parents gave one doctor permission to access that blockchain, and they would be able to see all of their transparent records and health history in one simple user-friendly computer program? Wouldn't that be fantastic? These are the types of things that are being built. Or diamonds, right? We've all heard the term blood diamonds. Well, what if you can track diamonds and where they were discovered to make sure that they were discovered not via bad labor, right? We can track meat, we can track chicken, we can track wherever things come from on the blockchain. I can talk for literally 15 hours about all the different use cases of blockchain and what it's doing for supply chain and records and transparency, but I want to focus really on real estate. So let me fix this slide here for everyone. Now we're rolling. So what are the benefits of blockchain for real estate? Again, the slide's supposed to look better than this, but technical difficulties. Makes it easier to property search and pre-purchase due diligence, reduces the need for intermediaries. That's the real benefit of blockchain, is that it really eliminates a lot of the middle people involved in the transaction. It provides smart property contracts. So what is a smart contract? In my opinion, perhaps the best use case for blockchain. When you talk about programmable money, you talk about smart contracts. Anything that we do in the physical form in terms of contracts and DocuSigns and all that stuff and getting multiple lawyers involved and sending and emails and all that other nonsense, everything can be conducted via the blockchain smart contract, which automates contract language via computer code. So let's think of the music industry, for example, right? Royalties are to be distributed in the music industry, ton of intermediaries. Well, if that contract for artist and record label are transparent in a blockchain, once the money comes into the smart contract, it can actually be distributed to the parties, to the parties of that contract based on what is stored in that contract, meaning based on what that contract is. Essentially, it's basically a physical contract, but it's executed digitally via smart contract computer code. Again, some of this could be nerdy, safer property transactions, lowers the cost to real estate investing. And one of the things that I like the best is that it turns real estate into a liquid asset. You can actually tokenize real estate, you can fractionalize real estate, and you can sell it globally to a greater set of investors where they own pieces of a real estate investment for investment purposes. Again, can get very deep into it. I'm just trying to low level right now. Here are just some of the companies, and this is outdated as you can see in 2019. Here's just some of the companies that are doing something in the real estate space. And you can take a look at like what areas they're interested in: title transparency, the decentralization of peer-to-peer rental and investment, digitizing contracts and agreements, tokenizing, which I just spoke about, tokenizing properties, fractional ownership. Take a look at all these companies here. Harbor's a really good one. If you're interested in learning more, take a look at Harbor. And there are others: transaction security and fraud prevention, right? We all know what happened in 2007, 2008. People would show up at the court systems. The courts were trying to foreclose on the property owner. And then the bank would go there and say, well, we don't have the documents. We don't have any signatures. And we don't know where the original contracts are. And that person would like walk away with the homes, free. Well, if everything was transacted on the blockchain, everything would be transparent. The original timestamping of when that contract was executed would be transparent in the blockchain, and it would make the storing of rights a lot more transparent and easily acceptable for all. What is cryptocurrency? Again, I'm talking very fast because I'm originally from New York, and also I'm trying to save and be cognizant of everyone's time. What is crypto? I also used to sell, I was a telemarketer. I used to sell lawn fertilizer when I was in college, so I talk fast, right? And I'm also in real estate. So cryptocurrency is simply digital money created from computer code. The cryptocurrency economy is monitored peer-to-peer internet protocol. Cryptocurrency is an encrypted string of data or hash encoded to signify one unit of currency. This is all nerd talk. What it all means is this is internet money. Like I said, there's multiple various blockchains. There's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, there's Litecoin, literally thousands of different protocols. There are applications that are being built on top of these protocols. These various blockchains, the developers of these various blockchains accept cryptocurrency as a means to transact and as a means of compensation across these various blockchains. So the Bitcoin blockchain, guess what that accepts? BTC. The Ethereum blockchain, guess what that accepts? ETH. Okay, different cryptocurrencies interact with different blockchains. Programmable money via computer code. There are various cryptocurrencies, literally thousands of cryptocurrencies out there. Okay, a lot of people, myself included, consider cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, as a hedge against inflation and as a store of value. And we will get into what a store of value is when we talk about gold in a second, if you're not familiar with that term. Where can you buy cryptocurrency if you're interested? Coinbase in America is the most trusted source. It is the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world to buy cryptocurrency. So if you want to start out and you want to buy cryptocurrency, you do it as an American citizen on Coinbase. It is the fiat on-ramp for cryptocurrency. There's thousands of exchanges where you can transact crypto to crypto. But if you want to buy crypto, how do you use your fiat, in this case in America, how do you use USD dollars to buy cryptocurrency? You use it on Coinbase. It connects to your bank account. You have to go through KYC, know your customer, AML, anti-money laundering. They check you to make sure you're not a criminal and that you're a US citizen. And then you can transact and buy cryptocurrency. If you are interested, I recommend you do buy cryptocurrency. My link for my Coinbase referral code is below. I don't know if it's hyperlinked through this presentation, but I can put it in the chat when we're done if you're interested. If you use my code, we each get like free cryptocurrency, so it's fantastic. All right. I spoke about miners earlier. The picture to the left is actually a small mining facility. So when you think about mining diamonds or mining anything, these are all high-powered computers. So what do miners do? Miners keep the blockchain alive and they keep it decentralized. They validate the transactions. As you can see, these are each one of these little machines here, and it looks like there's probably, okay, they don't have a screen to see my pretty face, but they're very high power, the transactions on the blockchain that validate transactions on the blockchain. These miners, the people that own these high-powered computers, charge a gas fee or transaction fee for verifying transactions. If you take a look at this image on the right, you'll see that you can put in the hashing power. Don't want to get into what that is. The pool fee. Don't want to get into what that is, but you could put in the BTC to USD price of what it is currently, and you can basically input your machine and you can calculate how much money you can make or how much Bitcoin you can make. That's called a transaction fee or a gas. 50% of these miners, of these computers, are actually located in China, and it's no surprise that most of the equipment for this is also manufactured in China. So when we talk about why Bitcoin price goes up and down, a lot of it has to do with mining activity in China. Take that for what it's worth. Gold versus Bitcoin. We all hear of gold versus Bitcoin store of value. When you talk about a store of value, what you're really talking about is making sure that the money that you have today has the same purchasing power that it will in 6 months or a year from now. Historically, Bitcoin has been that store of value, essentially a hedge against inflation. Now we see a lot of institutional investors and retail investors, instead of buying gold, they're moving to Bitcoin. Why would they move to Bitcoin from gold when gold has historically been the hedge against inflation or the store of value? The reason people are moving to Bitcoin and other forms of cryptocurrency is that you can move it. It's easy to move back and forth. It's digital. Can you imagine, carrying $1 million worth of gold through the airport? Not going to happen. You'll wind up in jail. Fungibility, tangibility, risk and return, it's scarce. There's only 21 million Bitcoin in existence. Actually, that number is 18.5 million because 2.5 million Bitcoin has actually been lost in space because, like I say, you custody your own money. So if you don't know how to custody your cryptocurrency wallets, your digital wallets, if you don't know how to transact, it's very easy to lose your money. There's no Bank of America, there's no Wells Fargo, there's no Chase Bank to call if you lose your Bitcoin. You're responsible for your own money. You custody your own money. Bitcoin is globally accepted, limited in supply, impossible to counterfeit because of how it's transacted on the blockchain. It is costly to mine, and that's why those mining operations, they make a lot of money, but there's also a lot of upfront capital needed to mine cryptocurrency. There is no government control over Bitcoin. There is certainly government control over gold. And it's a lot easier to use Bitcoin to purchase something like real estate than gold. Can you imagine going to someone who's selling a house and saying, here is $7 million worth of gold, I'd like to buy your house? Not going to happen. Or can you imagine taking your chain off at the supermarket to pay for groceries? Not going to happen. However, both the transactions that I just described, buying groceries and or buying property can be used very simply and quite frankly, instantaneously using Bitcoin. All right, so this is the political slide. And now we're going to get into kind of like the real estate talk. But I want everyone to kind of get an idea of what a cryptocurrency savvy user profile is from what I've determined, meaning who are the people that are really savvy in the cryptocurrency space, who really holds a lot of Bitcoin, and who is more likely to transact using cryptocurrency for real estate transactions. This is not. This doesn't mean that Democrats or Republicans don't use cryptocurrency or don't own cryptocurrency. But what it basically means is that a lot of libertarians kind of started the cryptocurrency movement and are very early adopters of cryptocurrency. Why? Well, you could see the image of Ron Paul on the left and the Fed. Cryptocurrency individuals. They don't like federal regulations. They don't like a lot of government controls. They believe that they should be in control of their own property and of themselves. They don't believe in social media censorship. They obviously want to avoid capital gains tax or pay no tax. There's a quote from Marcus Garvey that says, "Government is not infallible. Government is only an executive control, a centralized authority for the purpose of expressing the will of the people. Before you have a government, you must have the people. Without the people, there can be no government. The government must be therefore an expression of the will of the people." What this quote is basically reinforcing, without Marcus really even knowing it at the time, is the concept of decentralization. Decentralization. The little character to the right on the moon, every person who holds cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, believes that's going to the moon. And that's a stupid saying for basically saying it's going to keep going up, up, up in value. It's not going to lose value. I'll go on to the next slide. The earliest adopters and developers and the most influential thought leaders in cryptocurrency, the foundation of blockchain technology actually comes from video gamers, early video game developers and players. And I'm not a video gamer, but back in the day, back in the day, people used to play video games and they used to get digital goods. And these digital goods had a value and they would sell them peer to peer amongst people so that they can play in the video games. But there was no exchange. There was no video game exchange where people can, like a currency where they can actually trade on a platform where it would build value. But if I had certain things in a video game that someone else wanted, I would be able to sell these digital goods to somebody else. I'm sure we all know a lot of us have kids. They're playing obviously Roblox or Fortnite, and they're buying. My son is 10 years old. Every week he's spending a few $100s of daddy's money buying virtual goods in Fortnite. And I say to my son Tristan, I say, "Does this give you any advantage in the game?" He's like, "Oh no, daddy, it's just bragging rights against my friends." And of course I pull my hair out and I shut my credit card off. But the point is that these kids are building their social experience through video games like Roblox and Fortnite. These are digital goods. Well, now for adults, the digital good is cryptocurrency because it actually has a value and you can actually buy real things with it. The cryptocurrency blockchain community is also very strong in the Burning Man culture. I've never been to Burning Man. Hopefully some of you have, but it happens in the West Coast in LA or Vegas. And basically a group of people, pretty much high net worth individuals, show up in the desert and they literally build an entire community in the desert in 3 days and they party in it across 5 or 7 days. A lot of drugs are probably done and God knows what else, but it's a community that basically everyone brings something and shares with each other. So I'll bring 1,000 gallons of water and I'll share it with another camp, etc. And they build these amazing art pieces, as you could see on the screen. And at the end of Burning Man, they literally burn down everything to the ground like they never even existed in at Burning Man. So who attends Burning Man? Well, some of the most influential, powerful people in the world attend Burning Man, like Elon Musk. And people from all over the world come to Burning Man. It's this concept of decentralization, somewhat of a libertarian movement, where everyone is free to do what they want and they come together in harmony and peace and probably do a lot of drugs, which is why I haven't been to Burning Man. But that's kind of where this cryptocurrency blockchain community started from, which quite frankly is also why people thought of it as a joke very early on. So now let's get into what we're all here for. How do you transact on real estate? We all know Mayor Suarez, who in my opinion has done a fantastic job with Miami, has a big, strong initiative in blockchain and cryptocurrency. I believe he's trying to get government officials to take cryptocurrency, and he may actually put cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, on the books. Very smart move, Mr. Mayor, and he knows that. Anyways, seller side, seller wants to accept crypto. I'll slow down a little bit because this is probably the important slides for everyone. The seller side. So I'm a seller and I want to accept cryptocurrency. I own the property. This is a hypothetical. I own the property without a mortgage. If I had a mortgage on a property I want to accept cryptocurrency, it would probably be very difficult because certainly the bank is not going to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment. So we're in a unique situation here. Quite frankly, I actually have, I'm about to list a property, a condo in Sunny Isles Beach for around $2 million, where the seller is very cryptocurrency savvy. He wants to accept Bitcoin as a means of payment for his property, which he owns outright. So I'm actually going through this process now. I haven't executed the listing agreement yet, but I'm going through the process now with my legal team and financial advisors to figure out how we can actually execute this, because I haven't seen it done in Miami or quite frankly, anywhere in America. Although they just announced this morning it was done in Miami, but that's still a little opaque. So in this transaction with my client, how am I trying to execute it? Well, the down payment is in fiat, right? The title company won't accept cryptocurrency for the down payment on the home. So I told my seller, hey, the whole purchase can't be in crypto. Some of it's got to be in fiat. And of course, me as a real estate agent and the potential buyer's agent are going to more than likely want to accept fiat currency because their broker probably won't allow them to accept fiat as a commission compensation. Of course, I want crypto, but I got to assume that maybe the buyer side will not want crypto in commission. So this kind of alleviates how do we as agents get paid from the transaction in a transparent manner. Just take the down payment in fiat. I am actually speaking with one title company that may actually accept crypto for the down payment, and I can I can come back to the community and let everyone know how that happens if it does. So the home should be priced in USD, right? Just how we price the homes right now. The BTC, the Bitcoin price, is determined for the transaction at the day of closing based on Coinbase's spot price. So in the contract, you would put something like at 10 a.m., the morning of closing, buyer will send to seller XYZ amount in Bitcoin based on the pegged USD price of that morning. Why do you have to do it that morning? Because if it's literally the day before, that Bitcoin price is going to fluctuate like crazy. In fact, from last night to tonight, Bitcoin dropped 10% in value. Okay, just in one day, it's gone down 10%. So it's a very unstable currency. So the best way, the most transparent and efficient way to sell a home is to price it in BTC based on the USD price the morning that the transaction is supposed to be executed. Buyer will pay capital gains tax based on last out method for BTC. So what that means is if a buyer buys the property in cryptocurrency, in Bitcoin, it is a taxable event. All right. So the buyer is not avoiding capital gains tax. Now, why is this probably unlikely to happen? And I hope everyone's writing questions or because I'll answer everything at the end. So why is this probably unlikely to happen in this market, and especially in Miami, by the way? Well, it's what I just said. It's a taxable event. People who own cryptocurrency, anyone who owns $2 million that my client is asking for his condo in Sunny Isles Beach, more than likely they've owned Bitcoin for a long time. And they don't want to use Bitcoin to buy property because they don't want to pay capital gains tax on that Bitcoin. If they bought Bitcoin at, let's say, $5,000, and as of right now, it's, let's say, $35,000, they're going to have to pay capital gains tax on $30,000 for each Bitcoin that they own. So they're not going to want to do that. The point is, very people are using Bitcoin right now to buy anything. They're using it as a store of value, as a hedge against inflation. If you recall my gold slide, people are not really using Bitcoin to buy anything. They're using it like gold as a savings for their future, and to make sure that their purchasing power doesn't deflate over years. Let me see about this slide. Here's why selling a home is challenging. It's a taxable event for long-term Bitcoin holders. When I talk about last out, first in method, what that means is if I bought Bitcoin when it was $5,000, and I actually did buy Bitcoin when it was less than $5,000, but I bought Bitcoin today at $35,000, and then I go ahead tomorrow and buy a property with, let's say, the $1 million in Bitcoin that I buy today, the capital gains is actually on the Bitcoin that I bought today, if you have the right accountant, not the Bitcoin that you bought when it was $5,000. Notice there's a difference in capital gains when you do that, right? I would be taxed way higher if they used it at the $5,000 mark, but if they use it at the $35,000 mark, my capital gains tax is not going to be as high, okay? Please consult with your accountant on that. I'm not one. So what constitutes a taxable event? Selling crypto for fiat, trading crypto against each other. So if I trade Bitcoin for Ethereum, that's a taxable event. Using crypto to purchase a good or service. Receiving crypto as a result of a fork mining airdrop. I'm not going to get into what that is. Oh, sorry. Trading crypto, BTC for ETH. Like-kind exchanges are disallowed. Like-kind exchanges are disallowed. And that's kind of where the buying property with cryptocurrency comes into place. Again, taxable event. What is not a taxable event? Purchasing crypto with fiat. So if you use Coinbase to buy crypto, it is not taxable. It is only taxable when you sell it. And if you take a loss, that's also a write-off. Okay, so loss or gain, depending on when you bought crypto, when you bought and or sold it. Certainly donating crypto to charity is not a taxable event. Gifting crypto, transferring cryptocurrency from one of your cryptocurrency wallets to another wallet that you own is also not taxable. So I own multiple cryptocurrency wallet addresses, and when I transfer it amongst one another, that is not a taxable event. However, if I was to send cryptocurrency to anyone who's listening on this call, that will be a taxable event. Buyer side for a primary sale, buyer side. And this is where the last 4 or 5 of my clients have been on. I currently have the only bank in America that actually provides a mortgage for my clients, for cryptocurrency savvy hodlers, as we say in the community. I have a bank that actually will provide a traditional mortgage, a direct lender that provides a traditional mortgage for anyone that wants to use cryptocurrency to buy their house. It's a traditional finance. So the cryptocurrency is not held as collateral. It is usually, well, it is not usually, it is a no-doc loan. And because it is a no-doc loan and it is a risky loan, you can expect that your client, the buyer, will be paying a little bit of a higher interest rate, usually 2 points higher than what it typically would be for this type of loan. The bank that I use does a 70% loan to value. We all know what that means. So they will finance 70% of the purchase price of the loan. If you have a significant amount of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency holdings, usually they're going to look at just Bitcoin and Ethereum because they're the most stable and most trusted in the space. So what does a cryptocurrency savvy individual who doesn't want to pay capital gains tax on the down payment, right? That 25 or 30% down payment that's left, they can do one of two things. They can usually sell their Bitcoin, get USD within 5 seconds, and then take that USD and use it as a down payment. But they don't want to do that. Why? For every other slide that I showed before it. Once they sell their Bitcoin, they will have a capital gains tax. And if you remember from the libertarian slide and all the other slides, everyone that holds Bitcoin that's been in the space that has at least $1 million plus of Bitcoin believes that Bitcoin will go up in value. So why would they ever sell Bitcoin for a down payment on a home when they believe that the value that their Bitcoin will appreciate is significantly more than the value that their home will appreciate? They just don't do it. So how do they do that? Well, the down payment will be provided via a collateralized Bitcoin loan from platforms that include Celsius, SmartFi, or BlockFi. These are lending and borrowing platforms that pay interest on cryptocurrency holdings and also loan to cryptocurrency hodlers. Okay, very important piece in the real estate transaction are these lending platforms. I recommend Celsius or SmartFi. I do not recommend BlockFi, but you could do your own research and figure out which platforms you like. When you borrow against your cryptocurrency holdings for your down payment, that means there is no capital gains tax because it's just a loan. So you're basically using a loan to pay the down payment of the home. Essentially, you're getting a 70% traditional finance, traditional mortgage for 70% of the purchase price of the property, and then you're collateralizing your Bitcoin to pay the down payment. You literally come out of pocket with almost $0, right? And this is very important to those, depending on whatever your political affiliation is. If you have millions of dollars in cryptocurrency, this is how you avoid legally paying capital gains tax. This is how you leverage your cryptocurrency holdings to buy real estate. Now, unlike the 70% loan to value, your 30% down payment, like I said, is collateralized. What that means is you are actually you are no longer in custody of your 30% Bitcoin. That Bitcoin is now being sent to these platforms like Celsius, SmartFi, and BlockFi, where they custody your cryptocurrency. And when you pay back the loan, they return that cryptocurrency back to you. Why is that important for the cryptocurrency community? Because if I give XYZ, if I give Celsius $1 million in Bitcoin today to pay off the down to get my 30% down payment, once I pay Celsius back for the loan, typically, and I'll show you what the rates are in a second. Once I pay back that loan, I get my Bitcoin back. And I will hope that when I get my Bitcoin back, it is exponentially higher than when I initially gave it to Celsius. So it's great. You get the loan for property and you can recognize the value appreciation in your Bitcoin holdings. You do not give that up. Of course, the reverse can happen. Bitcoin can go down. And after you pay that loan off on Celsius, you may be getting, 20 or 30% less in Bitcoin than what you initially provided to Celsius. That typically doesn't happen, but it certainly could. Again, loan means no capital gains tax. You're able to hodl your cryptocurrency, you're able to hold your cryptocurrency, and you recognize that price appreciation in Bitcoin once you pay it off and you get your custody of your crypto back. A lot of these people use these platforms for both sides of the equation. They will take a loan out. So let's just hypothetical here, everyone. $3 million purchase on a property, 70% loan to value. So I get a $2.1 million loan from the bank. My down payment is $900,000. These platforms, the cryptocurrency platforms, Celsius, SmartFi, BlockFi, I have to drink water. These platforms usually do a 50% loan to value. So if you need a $900,000 loan, you're going to be giving these platforms $1.8 million in Bitcoin, because they need to make sure, they need to recognize those market fluctuations in Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin drops 10% in a day, that's okay, because now they still have $1.6 million of your Bitcoin. So they're not going to call a margin call on you. What this also means is that once you give them the $1.8 million and you get that $900,000 loan, if you have other cryptocurrency, let's say $10 million in cryptocurrency on these platforms, you're also earning interest on that $10 million. So my customers, my clients are literally using the interest from their cryptocurrency from these platforms to pay the loan back to these platforms, as well as pay off their mortgage. I had a gentleman recently. He was worth $40 million in Bitcoin. He had no job, bad credit, on Obama's health. I mean, I can go on, like, lived in his Tesla until I found him a home in Miami. I'm not even remotely kidding. Before the Tesla, was living in his mom's basement. I kid you not. These are the type of clients and customers that I have. You would never know how much money they were worth. And they looked at me and they said, Eric, well, how do I buy a home? I don't want to live in my Tesla anymore. By the way, I'm not kidding. This is not a hypothetical. And I said, well, let's figure out how we can get you out of that Tesla and get you a nice home in Pinecrest, which I did. And this is exactly how I executed the transaction. Celsius. So here's the platform that I recommend. Here's their little catchphrase. You can buy crypto, you can earn interest, and you can borrow dollars. All right. The lending rates, and again, this is outdated, but they do 25%. If you look here, 25% loan to value at 1% interest rate. Go to any bank in America and try to get 1% interest rate. Good luck. 33% loan to value at a 6.5 or about a 7% interest rate. And then that 50% loan to value, which I mentioned before, is at a 9% interest rate. So yes, of course, 9% is high, 7% is high for your down payment on, but everyone that holds Bitcoin believes that that Bitcoin will go up more than 9%. So to them, it's worth it. Plus, remember, they're avoiding capital gains. They're avoiding that 30% or whatever it is, capital gains tax. So to them, believe it or not, 9% is nothing, right? So like I said, Bitcoin dropped 10% from yesterday to today, and give it a week or so, and Bitcoin will probably be up 20 or 30%, far offsetting any of these lending rates here at 9%, and also benefiting them on the capital gains. So if you own cryptocurrency, or if you want to buy cryptocurrency on Coinbase, please use that referral code, and I'll put it in the chat. If you want to actually start earning interest on your cryptocurrency, passive interest without doing anything, you use the link below, the Celsius link below. I can put that in the chat, and you can immediately start earning interest. Literally, the day you put cryptocurrency into that Celsius wallet, and here's the interest that you get. It beats the banks, I can tell you that. Bitcoin, you're getting 5.5% interest on Bitcoin, paid to you. Ethereum, 6.35%, Link, Cell. There's even some stable coins, I didn't talk about what those were, that will pay you 13% interest a year on your holdings. What do the banks give us? 0.01%. So just take a look at the benefits of your interest that they pay you on your holdings of cryptocurrency. So here's my information. The other day, this past week, there was a huge conference in Miami called the Bitcoin 2021 conference. There was over 12,000 people that attended the conference. Here's a picture of what the line looked like. That is a fraction of the line. The line stretched for over 3 miles. It took people 4.5 hours to get into the conference on the first day. That's to show you the anticipation and the excitement around this space. Some of the biggest and most influential people in the world in cryptocurrency actually spoke at the conference, including our very own mayor, who talked about his initiatives in cryptocurrency. And other members of our political community also spoke about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Miami is becoming, Miami is the hub for cryptocurrency in America. And quite frankly, I think that we're going to be the hub for the world for cryptocurrency because of the way our political policies are being structured right now. And all of my friends who are in the cryptocurrency community and blockchain community are, you can scan there to get my email and cell phone number. That's of course down here in the bottom left. If you're on this Zoom call right now, you are already ahead of the game. There are people who are moving here that are just like my clients that are worth tens of millions of dollars in cryptocurrency because they bought Bitcoin when it was $1, right? And they don't know what to do with it. Well, I think they should buy some real estate with it. So I appreciate everyone's time this morning. I know I talked fast, and I would love to answer any questions that you may have.
Can I give you a softball question?
Yeah, sure.
I want to tell everyone what HODL is.
Oh yeah, so HODL is it actually means hold, right? HOLD. But back in the day, someone pronounced hold. I forgot it. Some Bitcoin Reddit chat room, like a very influential Reddit chat room. Someone spelt it wrong, HODL, and it became like this inside cryptocurrency joke. So whenever you see people that say shirts that say HODL, all they're saying is hold crypto, meaning hold it, don't sell it, don't recognize that capital gain. It's only going to go up in value to the moon. Okay, so it's an inside cryptocurrency joke. Hold on for dear life, because Bitcoin goes up and down and it's crazy and people have heart attacks over it. But yeah, it's a very well performing.
Eric, when you get a question, if you could repeat it for the people in Zoom so we could hear it.
Sure, I'm just trying to figure out where I see these questions.
Oh, well, there's no questions in the chat. If you want to drop, I don't see any.
There's chat.
Everyone,
I
if you
put
have
one in the chat. Wanted to know, this is David
Okay.
Reese, wanted to know if from a crypto perspective, how are the hackers getting access? Are they hacking this as well with this technology?
Yeah, great question. Let me take this water before I answer that. For those who didn't hear, he wants to know about hacking, how the hackers hack the technology. The blockchain has never been hacked. Not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, not nothing. What they hack are your cryptocurrency wallets, right? Like I said, you are your own bank. You custody your own cryptocurrency. So they're doing things like SIM swapping. They'll go to T-Mobile, they'll pay someone, by the way, this happened to me 3 times already.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
They will go to T-Mobile, they'll pay some employee $100, and that employee will give them access to your SIM card. Once they have access to your SIM card, they have access to your entire life. Okay, period. And that's how that's how they hack. It's still cryptocurrency. They also send those fake spammy emails out, and people click on those emails. Well, guess what? They'll put viruses on your computer, and when you're typing in your keys or your password to access your cryptocurrency, your Coinbase, etc., they are basically watching it in real time, and they'll strip it from you. So you have to have what's called 2-factor authentication on your phone to protect it from hacking. That's just one of the ways that you can protect people from hacking your cryptocurrency wallets. The blockchain has never been hacked.
Okay.
No, and there's multiple blockchains, so no blockchain has ever been hacked.
Thank you, Eric.
No problem. Any other question? I can't see the question, so I don't know who's going to lob them at me, but I don't.
Can you click the red button in the top where it says stop?
No. Oh, there we go. The chat. All right, I'm going to go through these questions here.
There's one question from Paolo at the bottom that I see. It can impact on your business plan if you want to build a crypto miner company regarding the currency itself. It can only be one param regarding the value, but it's not the only one. I don't know if it's more of a statement than a question, but there's something in there from Paolo.
Okay, let me see. So Paolo's saying, if you're talking about mining cryptocurrency, usually the cost is related to the hardware. Yes, that's very true. And the electrical power. Yes, that's very true. That's why China is leading it, because they subsidize their power. In order for mining to be profitable right now, the kilowatt per hour needs to be less than 6 cents.
Wow.
Right? Usually the most problematic, it can impact your business plan if you want to build a crypto miner company. That's true. Regarding the currency itself, it can be one, I don't know what that means. Oh, regarding the value, but it's not the only one. Okay. I'm not sure how that relates to real estate, but he's right. He's spot on. Paolo's were spot on. There are people that literally buy industrial properties to create big mining facilities. It's like basically a money, you know how you always say, I want the money tree in my backyard or the money printer? Well, mining rigs for cryptocurrency are literally the money printer. But there's only certain states that it actually makes sense to own miners In America, typically it's Texas because of the cost of electricity. Unfortunately, it's not Miami because it's very hot and the miners need to cool down. So you need to spend a lot of money to cool down the fans because these miners are running, these computers are running 24/7 at very high frequencies. So
Eric?
your electricity costs have to be low. Yes.
Yes, Eric, real quick. I understand Wyoming is a good place. Wyoming is one of the leading states for cryptocurrency right now. I don't know why, but they tell me Wyoming is. I don't know if you've been hearing that as well.
Yes. So I think it was David. David said that Wyoming is a very cryptocurrency friendly state. It is. But Florida is about to kick their ass. But the reason that Wyoming is a very cryptocurrency state, again, it all has to do with politics. It's all political. Like the state laws in there allow cryptocurrency companies to go out there. There's banks that bank cryptocurrency companies. There's a lot of anti-money laundering rules and know your customer rules that they have to by to make sure that the banking systems and the SEC doesn't come down on them. And Wyoming is it has been the most progressive in that manner. However, who the heck wants to live in Wyoming? Right? Let's bring it to Miami. And by the way, don't think that the
Let
mayor
it go,
doesn't know
man.
that.
Let it go, man. Let it go.
Eric, you have a question from Kevin. Eric, where do you recommend I gain more information to stay up to date with crypto and real estate?
Okay, cool. CoinDesk and Cointelegraph, CoinGecko. Those are the three most trusted sites in blockchain. CoinDesk, let me put in the chat here. Yes. Oh, sorry, not CoinGecko, it's CoinGecko. Oh, they just wanted to know what are like the good news sites for them to learn more about cryptocurrency. CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, CoinGecko. Appreciate it. Oh, let me put some of these links in the chat.
Now, do you purchase most of your Bitcoins through Base or Celsius?
Yeah, no, I purchased most of my cryptocurrency using Coinbase, and then I store most of my cryptocurrency to earn interest on. Shouldn't even be saying this, but on Celsius.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
It helps to trust you.
No problem. No problem. That's the Coinbase link, everybody, and I will put the Celsius link in the chat as well. This is for anyone who wants to just explore buying cryptocurrency or earning interest or just learning about it. There you go. Is crypto here to stay or is this a fad? I mean, obviously, I'm very bullish on cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. It is absolutely not a fad. Okay, when institutional players get into the space, like Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy and others, it is absolutely not a fad. Mayor Suarez is honestly small compared to some of these guys from in a financial stuff. But yeah, well, yeah, I mean, El Salvador just announced at the conference yesterday that they're accepting they're accepting cryptocurrency as a means of payment in El Salvador. And there are other countries like Paraguay and I think others that are going to be announcing it soon as well. So this is definitely not a fad.
How do you think that might bastardize the whole intent of these cryptocurrency non-governmental denominations?
Well,
Backlash is the libertarian community going to have against.
Eric, can you repeat the question, please? We can't hear.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'll repeat the question in 1 second. I'm sorry. Say that again.
I was just asking, frankly, how do you think that governments like the city of Miami,
Yeah.
or let's say Wyoming, or
Mhm.
Honduras or something. Let's say
El Salvador.
when these governments get involved,
Yeah.
This original core community of libertarian, anti-government, how's this going to bastardize, or are they going to shift away, and then suddenly now you got the next GameStop movement into a different crypto that city of Miami and other governments
All
are
right.
not involved.
So what he's basically asking is how's, I guess, the libertarian community, those core crypto community, how are they going to react when governments or states really start to accept cryptocurrency? Is that essentially what you're asking? They love it because it's all about ending the. So for libertarians, they look at it as ending the Fed, right? The Federal Reserve has nothing to do with this. It's yes, and it's the adoption, the further adoption of using Bitcoin cryptocurrency. It legitimizes, like when this gentleman asked, "Is it a fad?" Well, this things make it not a fad, right? It legitimizes Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency as a means of payment, as a means of transacting compensation. As we want as many people in the world to accept cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, and governments, states, or whatever included, as long as the Fed doesn't have control over it. That's really the premise of it. And again, like I said, that was my profile of what I believe the earliest adopters of cryptocurrency are. The libertarians are certainly not the only people that are in the cryptocurrency or blockchain space. Quite frankly, I am not a libertarian, and I'm one of the biggest thought leaders in the space. So for real estate and music. Eric, if you already use Coinbase and already have crypto, no reason to use your link, right? No, if you have Coinbase, you don't need to use my link. Thanks for asking. Kenneth Wright says, I'll accept anyone's crypto. Kenneth, so will I. Gus said, very informative. You're welcome. Can crypto get hacked? I answered that. I'm not sure. What do you mean when you say costly to mine? What are the actual costs? Oh, that's why Paolo was answering that question. Susan, it's costly to mine we went over it, but the miners, those computers can be anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 each. It usually takes someone about 9 months to a year just to recoup the cost, and then the electricity costs are your real overhead. And then of course your infrastructure, your high powered fans that have to actually cool down these machines so they don't burn and blow up the establishment that they're in. And any more questions? No, we're actually kind of on time. No question is stupid. We're all learning.
I think I can just close it out and let them know that they can reach out to you.
Sure.
If they have any other questions.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey guys, it's Morel. Thank you so much for being here today. This camera's not on, so I don't know what to do. I guess you can't see me. I can't see many of you either. But this is our first try at doing this hybrid. Like I said, we did have several people here in the boardroom at the Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce. Oh, wait, here it is. Right here.
There you go. Oh, you're welcome.
And
I just
there I am.
posted
Hey.
some, I just put something in the
We have
chat.
obviously some technical difficulties. Hopefully next month, some more of you want to come back in here, and that way we can start to network again in person. Thank you for those of you that stuck around. You've got Eric's information that you can follow up with him if you have any other questions. Thanks, guys. And always reach out if you have another topic or something that you'd be interested in us having as a topic for the next time. All right. Have a great rest of your day.
Was that good, everyone? Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't too fast. I was losing my guys. I've been at this
Guys,
conference.
I just posted in the chat a file from Morgan Stanley. If anybody's still on the call, wants to download that, it's really worth looking at. If you're really interested in what Eric was talking about, it's like I said, it's Morgan Stanley's analysis of the crypto market and its potential or its current use as an investment vehicle. So